You can see me okay. I'm just waiting for my husband to get out of a doctor's appointment. But somebody brought this up during the live chat last night. And they brought up basically celibacy with Santa Muerte, which brought up an interesting occurrence. This apparently happens more so than we know, but there are people that marry Santa Muerte. There are people that devote, not so much even just become devotees for the remainder of their lives, but they devote themselves so intently and so whole that they go through some kind of ceremony in which they marry her. I'm not entirely sure if this coincides with one of the stories, one of her origin stories being that she was a bride that got abandoned by her future husband or fiance, and she, from what I heard, she wept and wept and wept and eventually died. I'm not sure if she died a virgin, whatever the case may have been, but this maybe could have spawned from those stories, or those stories could have spawned from this ceremony. But I have heard of people saying that they have a spiritual husband or wife. I have heard of that, and they're not talking about a living person. They're talking about somebody who died and wanted to make a matrimonial commitment to a live person. That's a really difficult subject because, first, it depends on who you're talking to. Secondly, most people believe that marriage can only happen between two living people, even some people have married their animals and married inanimate objects. But that's another subject matter. But I wanted to know if there's any devotees that are watching this that have been devotees for a while, if you've heard of this, and if you can give more details, kind of explain to us who are learning the ins and outs of how that would work, what you've heard. Can it happen, with any gender? I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, but how does that work exactly? Like, when I hear and when I've spoken with people that have said, yeah, I'm married spiritually to this one, spirit or entity, I'm like, okay, well, I get, you get to communication, you feel a connection. If you believe in reincarnation, possibly, maybe you guys were joined in the past. I mean, I can put some stock into that for sure. But this is a different matter altogether. This is a matter of, there's a lady looking right at me like, who the hell is this chick talking to herself? That's a different matter altogether. This is the spirit of death, and I mean, I know that she can come off very playful, and she can come off very motherly, grandmotherly. She can be very much on our level, joke like us, act like us, that sort of thing. But how do you guys consummate that? Like, how do you... There's no... I mean, obviously, is there any physical pleasure involved? I mean, is there... not that that's a keystone to a marriage at all, by any means, but how do you do it? Like, I don't mean it, but how do you go through that ceremony? How do you keep that marriage? I mean, what if you meet somebody, like with her being as jealous as she is, what if you meet somebody and you feel a true connection to them, but you're married to her? Like, how does that work? Like, do you divorce her? I wouldn't want to divorce death. I mean, I don't think you can, but I don't even understand how that works. Like, I don't even understand how it works. Like, when you break up, like if you have a spiritual commitment, Like, you have a husband or a wife that's a spirit, like, how do you, they're always going to be there, you know? Like, if they haven't left now and you guys are in a relationship, they're not going to leave. Is that spirit going to torment you? You know, like, do they understand that you're married to them in the spirit world, but you can also be married to somebody here in the physical world, and because they're in the spirit world, they feel no need for sensations of the flesh? Like, how does that work? You know, I never had it happen to me, so I don't know. That's why I'm asking these questions. So anybody that has had experiences with that, or that has stories they can share about that, more specifically with her, I would really like to read those comments, and I would really like to share it on the Facebook page, because this is an area that's very gray for a lot of people, and for me as well. I'm a very inquisitive person, so I want to know, how does that work? So for any of you that have known anybody or that have experience in that matter, feel free to comment down below, or you can post it on the Facebook page. It's called I can't remember if I labeled it Madrina Santísima. Yeah, it's Madrina Santísima Muerte. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of my own page. But yeah, you can post it on there. Go like that page. It's just a like page. It's not like a group or nothing. And you can post it on there and say, hey, this is the experience that I had, because I very much like to know how that works. This is uncharted territory for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people think, can this even happen? You know? How does it work? How do you keep it working for the remainder of your life? Like, how do you commit for the remainder of your life? Because obviously a spirit's going to exist longer than this physical life. So, I mean, do you meet each other in the afterlife? Like, how does that work? So anyway, I think that's pretty much the only questions I had for now, but I would love for people with experience in this to elaborate if they could. So I'm going to pump out a couple of videos today, because there's a couple of subjects out there that I'd like to touch on, because you guys inspired me a lot with that live chat. So that's about it for now. And I hope that we can come together and form some answers. I'm very curious about this. So we'll see you in the next video.